What up, Geekdom? Let's talk about AEW for a bit. I know everyone had their videos and takes on AEW, and as of me creating this video, QT Marshall has left AEW. The question comes about, is AEW's boat sinking? I can definitely see a whole bunch of people's points of view on AEW in its course that is going on currently. QT Marshall has stated, as much as I've enjoyed being a VP, manager of talent relations, wearing a myriad of hats, the company has changed a lot since 2019 and is heading in a different direction, and I feel that it is best I do the same, as we only get one chance to go all in, referencing the all in pay-per-views in that quote. So I have thought about it as far as when AEW started versus how it is now, and it has. QT Marshall is correct. The company has changed directories of what it was into where it is now, and some people say it is better for it. Some people say it's not. When we first got into AEW, it was the indie darlings and stuff we had fell in love with. You can tell that there was a lot of love and care for these wrestlers that WWE wouldn't have never cared about. They wouldn't have never hired. They would never go for. And you had all these wrestlers that are now getting a shine and getting to be seen on TV. It was great. It was great to see, and a lot of people got attached to AEW because of it. It was a different product than you would get with WWE. It gave a whole different feel. I kind of feel like that now, and these are just my opinions. It's not necessarily anything to where it is facts of how everything really is, but I feel like AEW now is like a lesser version of WWE, like WWE when it was at its worst points in the company. It is sad to think of it like that. I really do, because I really liked AEW a lot. I still do. I still like AEW. It's just I don't like it as much because of the treatment of its wrestlers, the oversaturation of wrestlers, and it is hard for them to try to stand out on a product that has so many bodies for people to look at. And then stories are not told as well because it's too many people and to try to tell different stories and stuff on. I think it really hurts the product a lot. Not everyone is getting as much shine as they should be. I've seen on Twitter, a fan had asked Ethan Page, about why he wasn't getting the looks and stuff he is now in ROH that he's getting when he was in AEW. And Ethan Page is correct. It's a lot of. I want to say his quote was rabbits. It is a lot of rabbits in AEW. It's too much to try to go around, especially with telling stories. But I think the dropping of the ball with AEW is that they tend to not keep a lot of writers to keep in mind of where your characters, where these wrestlers are going as far as the product and stuff goes. And the reason why I had thought about this with QT Marshall is you had a whole new group that QT Marshall was over, which was QTV. Now you started this as something that looked like something would be TMZ, and it looked interesting. It wasn't anything like spectacular at the moment, but then you didn't see it as much. You didn't see much going on with QTV And you always wonder why. Why didn't they do a whole bunch of stuff? Why didn't they do a lot of just, backstage promos or vignettes or whatever? A lot of these things and stuff to where you would just have these characters just be just characters in making us connect with them a lot more. And it's sad that you don't get a lot of that with a lot of these wrestlers. You don't get a lot of those vignettes or promos and stuff where they get to push their characters a lot more. And I say the perfect example of ones that worked it really well is Timeless Toni Storm. I think it works so well with her with these vignettes, these different videos and stuff that they posted of her. I think it worked so well for the audience to really connect with her and the character that she was going with. And when you only see that done like once for one person and not like a whole bunch of other people, and it's like, well, you're just doing nothing but hurting the product, because it's a lot of people that I think that would definitely need those type of promos, those type of videos, those type of vignettes. A lot of different characters and stuff that would benefit from it. And a lot of these people get pushed under the background. And it is sad to see that. It is definitely sad to see a lot of these characters, a lot of these people, wrestlers, they don't get any shine because of whether it's like new wrestlers that comes in that used to be part of WWE, or just the lack of story that's able to get to them. So nothing as far as creative that they can think of, which I've always argued there's always something you can write about someone, especially with a lot of their characters. And it's sad that some of these wrestlers have to wait so long and then get on TV for a little bit and then have to wait again. But they're just trying to just be there and be supportive of the company and brand, because a lot of them really do love AEW. You can tell a lot of them really did love AEW and wanted it to work. But yeah, it's turned into a more of a trying to get as much viewership by pushing a lot of the big stars instead of making stars. And sometimes that takes time. Like the Acclaim took time to build, to be the big thing that they are. So it for some acts it can take time. They may not be like the greatest wrestlers, but they can pull off some of the greatest acts, some of the greatest character work. So it's like the lack of that is, I think, what really hurts them as a product. And it's just too many wrestlers for Tony to keep up with, and I think him working on all this stuff by himself is not a benefit to AEW. I really do think he does need a group of creatives to actually just work on certain acts, work on certain people, and work on certain stories for the show. I don't think he should have his full hands on ROH. I think that should be left to someone else. Because when you're trying to dip into everything, your focus isn't necessarily on what it needs to be focused on, because your mind is everywhere at once. So people end up being forgotten about, and this sucks. A lot of these wrestlers are not going to stay. They're not going to want to stay when they're not being valued or feel like they're being valued, and it sucks. And we can talk about the women's division as well, as the women's not being valued. But I'm like, you've got to do better with the product that you have. The women's division is horrible. The tag team division now has been horrible. The 6-man is forgotten about, and you just keep creating titles after titles with no development in these different divisions. And when you don't have that, it just hurts the product even more. And I think all these factors that I've talked about is something that is really needing to be addressed heavily when it comes to AEW as a whole, as a product. And there's different things that have been said about overshowing certain people, like overshowing MJF, having him wrestle too much. And I agree with those. There's a lot of different factors you can bring into what is causing AEW's downfall. And I think the main point is just, I think Tony Khan is the main thing that is holding down AEW.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
As much as I've always been hopeful for AEW to be that, second show that you can go to and look at, the fact that he's trying to make it so much of a competition to one up WWE, or to try to make the product seem bigger than what it actually is really hurting it. Just focus. A lot of people have said that. Just focus on your own product. Focus on yourself. But it doesn't seem to work for Tony when it comes to that. And he gets a lot of heat for it. And this is not an attack to say, like, tech Tony Khan and stuff like that. This is just to say that he needs to step back a bit and really evaluate what would be best for the product. And I think right now he's hurting the product so much. But that's just my opinion. There's a lot of other things you can typically say when it comes to it, and to come to the situation with AEW, but those are my just thoughts and stuff on AEW. But what are y'all thoughts? What do y'all think about what's going on with AEW? What do y'all think is really like hurting the product, to where like viewerships and everything is just going down and down for AEW? Let me know. Let me know down in the comments below. If you like this video, please put a like on the video. If you'd like to subscribe and see some more of my videos, please do. Thank you all so much for jumping on and giving me a try. I really do appreciate it. Please do take care of yourselves and each other. Peace, geekdom.